Hello, everyone. Who else is so excited about Blaze today? Woo! I know everything has been awesome so far, and I'm just here to add to the even more awesomeness that is to come. Hi, my name is Taylor Burris, and today I am here to talk to you about brand integrity. And I know that is a very loaded word, but before we start, I just want you guys to look at these 4 images. And just take a moment, reflect on how they make you feel. Even if you don't know these influencers, even if you don't know these families, that's okay. Think about how they make you feel. For me, I feel loved. I feel welcomed. I feel like I'm a part of a community. But more importantly, I feel like I can trust these women. I see myself here. I see my aunties, my aunt, my cousins, my mom, my daughter. I feel like this is a brand I have to be a part of. I would just throw my money at them right now. Through this effective branding and brand authenticity, it is so powerful in order to leverage your sales and increase your sales goals and build the trusted community. So before we begin, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about who I am and how I started off as a negative disruptor in my industry and leveraged it to turn myself into a positive disruptor to increase my opportunities and sales. Today, I am Taylor Burris, the co-founder of the AI Hub, which is an art incubator that houses 4 equipped hubs, opportunities, and paid resources to artists and entrepreneurs in the Midwest. But when I was 22 years old, that's not who I was. I was heavy in the game in entrepreneurship, heavy in entertainment. I was a journalist. I was a production assistant. I was doing all these amazing things. I worked with Mulatto, Spice, TC Carson, worked with all these very influential people with hard, solid brands. And I took notes. I soaked it in. It wasn't until somebody said, leverage your opportunity about who you meet and show up as you every single time, not only online, but in person to increase your opportunities and to sell your services. So I had to think about it. I'm like, ooh, now who I am, who am I? Think about what I just said. Who am I? Put that to you. Who are you? So during this time, I was able to leverage these relationships, not by chance, but through consistency and through honest and open communication. But I made a mistake. I was managing people's brands accounts, making them look like how I wanted them to be seen, not specifically for their target audience, but how I thought they should be seen in order to be loved by a community. I had one client, really awesome guy, super talented. But I painted a brand picture of him as he was a very community service oriented person that was really nice and kind. And not to say that he wasn't, but when clients met him in person, the idea that they had of him in their head was completely shattered. The person that they thought they knew online was not the person they met in front of them. And that led to failed deals. And that was my fault. I had to realize that being a negative disruption in your industry and not being a positive and open and honest about who you are in your brand can lead to plummeted sales. And then COVID hit. Going back to my story, COVID hit. I was with child. I had to move from Atlanta, Georgia because of a high-risk pregnancy. And I brought myself to the Midwest to get the care I deserved. Luckily, my partner, James, and I had the amazing opportunity to open the AI Hub, the business that we run together today. We were doing so much. We did all the right things, radio, billboard, PPC, social media, did all these things on paper that were right, even down to the press release. Came to our very first event. Nobody showed up. And I was crushed. It did not make sense to me. Why is it that the tactics I had been using for years for my brand and for other people's brand worked so well, but all of a sudden it didn't work for me? But I had to think about it. I was trying to talk to an audience in a whole different state and bring that to the Midwest. That did not make sense. I was speaking to people who didn't know me. I myself didn't know me. I was not being honest with the new version of myself that I now was in this new state, in this new community. I didn't realize that I was not solving a problem here in the Midwest. I was solving a problem for those in Atlanta, but when I came here, I didn't even take the time to ask these people, what do you want to see from me? What issues do you have? So we had to pivot. We put our feet to the ground and we talked to people. We opened up our ears. We got on social media live. We said, hey guys, I'm having an issue. I have 3 brand colors, red, blue, yellow. Does this even make sense? Do you want to be here? Do you feel invited? And do you feel like you can trust me? It wasn't until my partner, James, said, people do business with people, not robots. It started to click in my head. Think about that again. People do business with people. People do business with people. That means you have to build relationships. You have to build trust. And you have to build authenticity so that people can even trust you to even lead to sales. As soon as we hard pivoted, in a matter of 8 months, we solidified contract with some of the top artist organizations that have been around for decades. We solidified contracts with the streetcar, with local artists, with nonprofit and for-profit businesses that we were able to leverage to increase our sales and our membership, but also increase paid opportunities for local artists and entrepreneurs. Everything began to make sense through consistency, through solving a problem, and through effective brand marketing. Now, let's go to a little example. I told you about being a negative disruptor. And now, right now, let's talk about being a positive disruptor. I want you to get out your pens and paper or get on your keypad. And I really want you to write this down and take this to heart. What does it mean to be a positive disruptor? Leveraging your unique niche in your industry to increase your sales to your target audience. It is so easy to get stuck in the copy and paste. You see someone else make a video, they got thousands of sales, thousands of views, thousands of followers, and you try to replicate that. But no, that does not work for you because that's not your business. That's not your target audience. That's not your niche. Think about what makes you special. Going back to the example, let's come up with a new example. If I'm an ice cream shop, right? It's summertime. I'm surrounded by 10 other ice cream shops. What's gonna make people sell for me? Is it my cost? Is it my value? Is it my customer service? Is it the way that I make you feel when you see my brand and you walk into my business? What makes me unique? So I'm gonna tell you a story. Part of it's true, part of it's not true. I'm gonna make up a little jingle along the way. So say you're driving down the highway. This situation did happen to me. Driving down a highway, it's rush hour. The truck in front of you, the tire plops off and begins to roll down the highway in your direction. First car swerves, miss it. Second car swerves, miss it. Me, I'm like, oh my goodness, everybody's swerving. I don't know what's about to happen. Thank God I moved out the way at the right time. Even though I was in the far left lane, I didn't hit anybody. Nobody hit me. The wheel missed me. All was well. All was amazing. But then suddenly, now this part, I'm gonna make up this jingle because this isn't the actual jingle they have, and hopefully they pay for me for this later. But a commercial comes on the radio and it says, we gotta start your day off right. But you almost got hit and you swerved off the road tonight. Call 411 pain to get your case settled. In that moment, I'm gonna think of 411 pain. Whenever my aunties or my cousin or my daughter gets into an accident, I'm gonna immediately say, use 411 pain. Every time I'm in the car, they come on the radio and they have these bops and it's my favorite song on the radio and it's a commercial. But I remembered it and it stuck in my head because I'm their target audience. And every time I see them, I'm in high traffic, high volume areas. And something crazy happens. They're building a relationship with me and I didn't even know it. They're targeting me and I didn't even realize it. They are becoming a positive disruptor because they're leveraging their call to action. They're leveraging their ability to stand out from the rest of these companies because they have these jingles that are so catchy. And on top of that, they're consistent with their branding and their message every single time. I feel like I want to use 411 pain and I didn't even get into a car wreck. Ask yourself the right questions. Once again, what makes you and your brand special? And consistently show up and show that uniqueness every single time, whether it's in person or online. Next question, are you actually solving a problem? What are you solving? Figure that out and actually make sure that you're solving it in an effective way to your target audience. And lastly, are you effectively communicating using plain language, colors that your target audience that would like, language, accurate pictures, proper mediums? Should you use Facebook? Should you use radio? What should you use? Stay consistent. You got this. Now, Pinky Cole. If you don't know Pinky Cole is the owner of Slutty Vegan. Woo! I love Slutty Vegan. It's so good. Mind you, I think it was in 2016, Pinky Cole had a Jamaican American eatery, right? Awesome. We in New York, we in Harlem, we eating good, burns down because of a grease fire. It happens. It really does happen more often than you think. She called that a business fail. In that moment, I no longer could trust that if I go online, I know her business is going to be there. If I go to her shop, I know her business is going to be there. No, everything in that moment is gone. Where is my trust in knowing that you're going to be there when I need you? 6 years later, Pinky Cole came back stronger than ever. So think about this. I'm from the DMV area. I didn't tell y'all that. I'm from the DMV area. Put in the chat if you're from the DMV. Shout out. I love my people. You're in the DMV area and you guys we're used to seeing food trucks all the time. If you go to the National Mall, lined up, food truck after food truck after food truck. When I lived in Atlanta, I'm a Spelman graduate, Pinky Cole from the AUC. She went to Clarkland University. Think about this. You go to her food truck, lines out the door. You're sitting there for hours through the rain, through the heat, through the snow. You're sitting there and you're sitting there and you're sitting there because I was one of those people every single week. And you get to the front of the line and they say, I'm sorry, I'm out of burgers. I'm like, dang. But sure enough, I came back the next week and I came back the following week until I got a burger. So what made people come back? She found her niche. It was vegan eats, vibrancy within her brand, and provocative language. Oh my goodness. And she stayed consistent. When you meet Pinky in person, she's very vibrant, very lively. She is authentic with everything that she does. As far as I'm concerned, she is authentic. When you go into one of her locations, expect the same thing. She is consistent, vibrant colors, bopping music, everybody's having fun. You feel like you're a part of the community. She was building a community that trusted her. No matter what state that she pops up in, lines out the door, all of the time. Or I want to say in 2021 alone, she generated about 10 to 14 million dollars, while other businesses doing the same exact things were struggling and failing. 10 to 14 million dollars. She stayed true to her brand. She showed up, showed out every single time. And from somebody who went from a failed business to an incredible franchise, it's amazing. That is the power of positive brand integrity. Ask yourself tough questions. Do you need to pivot? Who do you want to be to yourself? Who do you want to be to others? Are you being honest and true, or are you copying someone else's model? Now, I'm going to bring these pictures back up because they're important. They're still important to us. Going back to how we make people feel. And y'all don't laugh about me, but can we all say, set it off? I know we all know the movie Set It Off. Mine's a little different, but type in the chat, set it off. C-C-E-T, it off. And I'm going to tell you what that means. The first two C's is consistent and clear. Have consistent and clear branding. Have an identity that makes sense, that you can show up for because it's true to you. It's authentic to who you are. The E stands for effective in targeting. Yes, when you start out, it's so easy to just throw out an image and throw out your brand and see who picks it up. Perfectly fine. But what you need to do is go back and look at your analytics. Who was that person who went to my website? Who was that person who put something in their cart, but they didn't buy? Clearly, I did something right in order for them to get to that phase in the process. So let me replicate that one thing that I did right in order to increase the customers coming back and increase sales, and figure out what I did wrong. So I need to pivot and change. Be effective. Be effective. Please put effective in the chat, guys. Effective. Whatever that looks like to you. You can even walk around with a QR code on your shirt. That's be you. You are your walking billboard. When people see you, they see your business. When people see your business, they see you. People do business with people. Now, let's go to the T. Be transparent in communication. Are you being transparent? Are you just putting something out? Oh, I got to put something out 3 times a day, every single day, because it's what I got to do to stay relevant. No, you don't have to do that. Be effective, be transparent. Say, hey guys, how can I get you guys involved in my brand? I know you want to see yourself in this brand. Why don't you come to me and I will put you on my brand so that you can see yourself? What do you care about? What do you love? What problems do you want me to fix for you? Because I can make it happen. I want you to trust me to come to you. So the big words that we went over today: set it off, brand integrity, be a positive disruption. Don't be a negative disruption. And if you remember what positive disruption is, great. If you don't, I have put it back on the screen for you. Leverage your unique niche in your industry to increase sales for your target audience. I believe in you. I trust you. You are my community. I love you. Now build, and bring that sense of community, love, and trust to your target audience. You got this. Thank you.
Okay. That was so good. And we have hands already raised. Okay. So I see y'all. I won't take it up. Taylor, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hi. Oh, I love all that you have going on with the feng shui.
I'm in my building right now. This is my building, the AI Hub.
I love the AI Hub. Welcome. Okay, Taylor, folks are ready. So let me bring the first person on stage. As a reminder to those, especially if it's your first day, can barely talk this evening for me. Make sure that you hit the hand button. Make sure you hit the hand button to come onto the stage, and you can ask your question live to Taylor. Make sure you use the Q&A function. That's a Q&A icon to type your question, and we'll show it on the screen. Okay. So, Ahira, you're the first one up. I am bringing you up, and feel free to ask your question to Taylor.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Taylor. Great job. I so appreciate that. I definitely, it resonated with me regarding my brand. I have a question for you. When you spoke earlier in your presentation how you were working with clients in terms of how you saw them and not necessarily who they truly were.
Yes.
My question to you is, if you had to do it all over again, would you have still worked with those people who did not present themselves in a manner that was workable or in a positive light? Looking back, would you have done it again?
So I have two answers to your question.
Okay.
So initially, when I was trying to represent these people in a certain light, I wasn't doing it because I was doing it because that's how I thought they should be represented, but also that's how they approached me. As in, I want to change my brand. I want to look like this, and that should have been a red flag to me. That should have been, oh, you're purposefully deceiving people and making them believe that you're something that you're not. That should have been my red flag. But I would do it again only because it helped me understand how I wanted to be represented and how I did not want to be represented. I had to realize what type of clients I did and did not want to work with. And in opening up my own brick and mortar and having our agency, I had to understand the power and the leverage that people have when accurately or, misinforming people about how they should be. So I would definitely do it again because I know how I want to show up and show out every single time to be authentic to my brand. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering my question. I appreciate it. All the best to you, sweetie. Good luck.
Thank you. You as well.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ahira. Beautiful answer, Taylor. I'm fangirling right now because I'm always a fan of the reps. I'm always telling people to get the reps, and the fact that your natural response is, I would do it again to learn what I needed to learn. Brilliant. I'll show on stage the next question is from Jordan Freeman. Thank you for your question, Jordan. She asks, any advice or tips for branding when you are aware that your brand's beliefs may be controversial? I love this one.
Okay, my first question, is it your brand that's controversial or is it you that is controversial? And are you willing to live with that when people approach you? Because like I was saying earlier, when you show up, people see your business. Whenever Taylor Burris walks down the street, they see the AI hub. They don't see me anymore. So are you willing to, I don't want to say consequences, but essentially, are you willing to deal with those consequences, and whether it's a positive way or a negative way? And also, are you well informed on both sides of whatever you're speaking on? Because people will ask questions, people will try to challenge you, but being informed is a powerful tool so that you can inform others if you are controversial in your branding. You know what I mean? Because people will, challenge you all the time. So just making sure that you have the proper knowledge and the know-how to inform and to answer back in a eloquent way so that you're still not messing up your future business in the process.
I love your answer, sis.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do, because I will say, especially, I'm gonna say especially for us, I think this is probably true across all races, etc. Like, it is fear that causes people to say my brand is for everyone, right? Like it is the fear of the pushback around, like, what about XYZ? What about XYZ? What XYZ? And you're telling them to arm themselves with data, like have a depth of knowledge that's so deep, you got a well to pull from. Brilliant. Okay, the next question is from Alexis Miller, and she says, I know that you spoke about niching down, but can you speak to how extremely important it is for business owners on social media, given the amount of competition there is online?
Okay. So I spoke about niching down, but can you speak on how extremely important it is for business owners on social media, given the amount of competition there is? Social media is a powerful tool that can help or hurt your business. When I was solely relying on social media, nothing happened because I was solely relying on social media. I was not building relationships with people, authentic relationships with people. I wasn't meeting under other business owners, even my competitors. I wasn't shaking their hands, taking notes, like seeing what can I do better? What am I doing wrong? So social media is so powerful, but at one point, social media didn't exist. And you had to get out of your physical space. I know it's hard and you get comfortable. I love being here every day. But if I never leave these doors and I solely rely on social media, nothing will come of it. I wouldn't have a business right now because people want to know who I am. They want to know that they can trust me and get to know me. Now, when you're using your social media, it's always good to study what works and what doesn't work. You can continue to put out the same things every single time and only get those three likes every single day. Because in your head, it's like, oh, I did this, I was supposed to do that. But if it's not going anywhere because you're not changing, you're not studying your backend algorithms, you're not working on your SEO, you're not using certain hashtags, staying up with what you need to do to elevate. And it's a full-time job. That is a lot. That is a lot. So when you're going through this process of using social media, just make sure you're on track. Make sure that you're using every single avenue, from your Google business profile to your backlinks to your metadata and your meta description. So there's more than just Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. There's a whole other network of resources out there that can help you push your brand to where you want it to be. But don't forget about meeting people where they are. I just printed out 15 flyers for my 1-year celebration this Saturday. I said, you know what? Social media ain't it. I'm going to take these flyers. I'm going to put this in your face and say, here, you need to show up. So just don't forget about using all your different avenues and leveraging your relationships with people.
So good. And Yvonne said, congratulations, Taylor.
Thank you.
And y'all, now listen now. Because Taylor is dropping so many gems. I want to make sure y'all compartmentalize these in the right areas. Listen good now. Taylor did not say that the internet is irrelevant. Okay. Between February and April of 2020, okay, the panorama that happened, 41% of Black-owned businesses failed. Why? Because they did not know how to use the internet. Like, I promise. I promise that's why. Like, they did not have an online checkout. They didn't have a website. Like, bro, like 41% failed, right? So, yes, Jay Brown said it. Do both, right? Like, you got to. I'm going to say this one last stat, so just so y'all know. Now, it's if you want to retire tomorrow, that's fine. That's your business. But 40% of all buyers in the United States are Gen Z and millennials. 40% of the buying power of the United States today, and we're only getting older, right? Please compartmentalize the right way now, unless unless that's your business strategy, okay? All right, I'm gonna bring up China real quick. China, you have the mic, mama.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi, China.
So I want to know about your mindset. For your acronym, set it off. So CCET, what was your mindset before you got to that point? Was it trial and error? How did you was it like just you sat down with yourself and was like, okay, I need to figure out what really works for me and only me, and kind of not worrying about what everyone else is doing, knowing that what you have to offer matters. So was it trial and error? What was your mindset before coming up with your before Set It Off?
I had I think I mentioned to Casey at one point, I had a very naive mindset. I didn't know it all, because I know I don't know everything. But I was in the mindset is, if I check all the boxes, this has to work. Okay. No, that's not. I spent thousands of dollars on billboards, radio advertisements, PPC ads, literally thousands of dollars went down the drain because I thought I knew what worked. And if I do what works, I'm going to be successful. And reality is, I'm a Black woman, a young Black woman who's moved to a whole new state, who knows nobody. And that was a reality check for me. Because I don't understand. I got all this stuff. Why are people I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. So in my head, I had to trial and error and pivot in order for me to realize that success, first of all, looks different for everybody. And the success I'm able to bring to a TC Carson is not the success that's going to look the same for me. My success for me is I woke up this morning and I was able to pay my bills and people showed up to use a studio. I had to do baby steps. I had to do baby steps every single day and grow in that. So I had to change my mindset of, yes, I'm going to do this, and this going to work it off. Do I have to? No, I have to set it off. I have to one step at a time. I had to change my mindset. I have to pivot, and I have to learn to be vulnerable and to soak in knowledge from other people, to observe other people, to research other people and realize what does and does not work for them, so that I can avoid some pitfalls, so that I will fail even if it is failing faster, but I will avoid some failures along the way because I'm able to learn, research, develop, and grow.
I love that. Thank you so much. And it really resonated with me because just like you, I moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Florida where I don't know anyone. But and so where I was kind of getting started there, now it's like, hey, I don't have any clientele here. I don't have anything here. And so thank you so much for that.
Yes. And all blessings to you, China, because I know it's not easy, but you will be amazing. You will be successful and it will all work out as it should. I promise you that.
Thank you.
Ashe. Thank you, China. Appreciate you, Mama. All right, y'all. Taylor is incredible. The AI Hub. This is the founder and CEO of the AI Hub. Look her up. There are freebies from the speakers that have decided to give freebies. Taylor is one of them. So make sure you go to blazevirtualsummit.com/freebies. It's in the app. It was in the app for the longest. Okay. So definitely check out the app as well. Taylor, there's such a maturity in the way that you see the world. And we need you, sis. So keep going, keep growing, scale your team, make more mini Taylors because we need you. Okay.
Thank you.
Ashe. Thank you so much, sis. All right, y'all. We have so much left for the remainder of the day. This is only session one. This is only session one. So the next session we're going into is from Andrea Long, and it is called The Formula for Experience Design. The Formula for Experience Design. This is a workshop. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.